Greetings, royal family. I'm back. Man, it's been a long time, right? Okay, so I left off back at episode 8, I think, of this season of Shahs. The season has come to a end. The reunions have already been filmed and aired, so hopefully you guys are all caught up. I am long overdue. All right, so let's not waste any time. So this episode is episode 9. I know I'm gonna try to get through as much in this video as possible because I want to do a separate video for reunion part 1 and 2. I don't even think there's gonna be a part 3. I haven't seen reunion 2 yet, but I've seen reunion 1. Okay, so this episode 9, right, is where they left off at the Friendsgiving, right? Paulina was on the phone via speaker. Mike was there. Paulina wasn't there. So Paulina basically said that she doesn't like the friends, the crew getting in the business. Again, she's not at the Friendsgiving, but she's on Mike's cell phone. So she basically tells the group that she can't trust them enough. And they're supposed to be like the closest people to Mike, right? So she's basically being phony. Destiny, just as I thought, is sitting there looking stupid. Paulina June, what did I do? Yeah, you getting in the middle of a relationship swearing that you saving Paulina, and Paulina is always she's gonna choose Mike over you, Destiny. Are you in love with Paulina? Now remember, this is episode 9, so if you go back, remember, I didn't abandon the season, so I wanted to play catch up. Anyway, so Destiny, she wants to know from Paulina, what did she do? And Paulina responds saying, you've been a doll. You've been a doll, MJ. And I said, wait a minute, did she call Destiny MJ? I'm cracking up. Now everybody is sitting around the table trying to enjoy this food. Mike is basically still trying to defend himself because Reza always got something to say. And it's crazy that the way things turned out. It's funny because I'm trying to act as if I didn't already see the first part of the reunion part 1, but I did already. I went ahead. So I'm trying to keep my composure and stay in order. And I'm being considerate because I know everybody doesn't watch it the same times I do. Anyway, so Mike speaks on Paulina's behalf at the table saying that Destiny says that he controls Paulina, right? Destiny says that Paulina tells Mike one thing and tells her something else. Duh, Destiny, if you know that, why are you still involving yourself in this? I don't understand why Destiny is obsessed with this situation. Leave it alone. Let it go. You see that Destiny's phony. I mean, not Destiny. Well, she is too. Paulina, she's phony. Mike says, look, I just want this beef to end. He wants to know what is Reza's issue. Reza says that Mike's dishonesty triggers him. Now, Reza, man, he is really cooking my grits this season. I want Reza to stop acting like he has to show Mike this life path, that Mike is like, you know what I'm saying, his son or something like that. Mike is not your child. Accept him for him, move on. So you being triggered by Mike's behavior because your father cheated on you cheated on your mother, has nothing to do with Mike. You just want to control Mike. You want to talk down to Mike. You don't want Mike to be successful. Any and everything that he does, you criticize. You know what I'm trying to say? You know better. I'm better than you. I'm older than you, so I know. Yeah, right. Good luck with that. MJ is at the table. She drunk. And she making no sense, really. She says she loves everyone and she wants everyone to get along. So Gigi, she tells MJ that she needs to see consistency with MJ. Gigi has gotten on my nerves with this consistency, with this MJ has to prove herself to me. She's been saying it every flipping episode. Girl, what is your issue? It's either you are going to reconcile with MJ or not. MJ is not going to be doing backflips for you, and you don't even know what your problem is. What do you want MJ to do? It's either you trust her or you don't. So Friendsgiving was a success, I guess, right? So we move on. We see Reza. He meets up with Destiny and Gigi. Of course, he wants to talk about the Friendsgiving. They talk about MJ being nasty. Then they're talking about Mike, talking about MJ being nasty, how she was handling the food with no gloves and all types of crazy stuff. Reza, he feels that, he's a better friend to Mike than Mike is to him. Bull crap. You won't even allow Mike to be a good friend to you because you have to be in control. You feel you're older than him. I got to be in control. I got a son, Mike. You won't even allow Mike to. Mike is not a bad friend to Reza. I don't think. We don't know what goes on behind the scenes. I just feel like Reza thinks that he's better than Mike. Point blank, bottom line. Gigi says that, Mike would say the same thing about Reza. And she says that, she doesn't support what Mike does, but she also feels that it's none of her business. Bingo, bingo, bingo. And that is what Reza does not want to accept. He claims that, he wants his friends to be the best version of themselves. But I think that that's a crock of bleep. You want to be able to control your friends. You want your friends to coddle you. You don't want your friends to tell you shit that you don't want to hear. You want to be in control. It doesn't work like that in the real world. And I just feel like I want to know, how does Reza feel, or how does Reza know what's best for Mike, who's a grown man? Again, Mike is not your child, right? And I feel like that's kind of insulting for him to think that he knows what's better for Mike's life than Mike does. Like, who the hell do you think you are? And then discuss it like you just disguising it as being a good friend. Reza, grow up. Point blank, period. Reza does this all the time. He did the same shit to Asa. He tried it with Asa. Asa is strong in her spot. She knows his beat. She saw right through his BS. And she cut him off. Rightfully so. He treats MJ like that, but he can't now because Tommy's in the picture. He bossed MJ around. MJ was very emotionally dependent on Reza. And the fact that they've been friends for 30 some odd years, that's always what was used. Oh, I'm doing this because, child bye. Anyway, Reza is actually, not Reza. Gigi is talking sense to Reza in this moment. I think they met up like at a restaurant, right? I just feel he needs to just let Mike do him, right? His personal life has nothing to do with you. Mike's relationships don't have anything to do with you, Reza. You make yourself, you put yourself in the middle of Mike's relationships. And again, you disguise it as being a good friend. You're happy that he has problems. You like it. Anyway, so Gigi says that, Reza dismisses people, when he doesn't get his way. And I agree with that. Mike told Reza the same thing and Reza agreed. So, we shift gears to see Mike and Gigi. She shows up to Mike's place for a chat. I thought that was interesting. Mike is, kicking his usual spiel. He says that most men aren't wired to be monogamous. And, he says that he plans on marrying Paulina because she's the one that he loves. And I start laughing. I'm like, Mike, good grief, man. You don't want to be tied. It's okay. But again, for some reason, he feels that it's not. Is he trying to impress his parents? I don't know, Mike. This is just like a merry-go-round with him. Gigi points out that Paulina's disloyal. And I agree with that because she's telling the group, her and Mike's business. I wholeheartedly agree. And I don't know. I agree with Gigi. Even though Gigi gets on my nerves, I do agree with her. And she's calling Paulina out of her name, that B word, put a muzzle on your B word, and Mike's like, don't call her out of her name. But I understand where Gigi is coming from. Like, we've all been friends for umpteen years. And here go this girl come. Yeah, she's your girl and we respect her as such. But why is no one in the group should know what's going on in your relationship, Mike, unless it's coming from you. Paulina shouldn't be comfortable to sit on the phone with Destiny and tell Destiny all her business. And that's why I think Destiny is foul too. Why are you sitting down listening to this? It's either Destiny likes Paulina, likes her, or she likes Mike. I'm not sitting on the phone with my friend's significant other listening to problems in my friend's relationship. It's not happening. 9 times out of 10, you probably won't even have my phone number. No matter how cool me and my friend are or how long we've been friends, your significant other don't need to have my phone number. Like that, it's not necessary. It's not necessary. And I most certainly would never make a Paulina feel comfortable to sit on the phone with me and call Mike. So Destiny, you foul for that. Anyway, I just feel like Mike should just keep the women that he dates away from the group. And again, I think that Paulina is out of order for telling Mike her and Mike's business. And I think that she was hoping that they wouldn't tell Mike, but then again, these are Mike's best friends. So what really was her motive? Whatever it is, Paulina gotta go. That's my opinion. Mike, come on now, you can't see the disloyalty. It's wild crazy. Anyway, Mike wants to marry Paulina. Yeah, right. I feel like it's the same reason he wanted to marry Jessica. You know, he doesn't want to look like less of a man because he's not following tradition. I really think that his culture has a lot, and his family has a lot to do with Mike always, oh yeah, I'm going to get married. Oh yeah, I'm going to get married. He should have never married Paulina. They should have never gotten married, because as quick as they got married, they got divorced just as quick. Not to mention, there was already hiccups in the relationship before they got mad. Like, I just feel like Paulina too, she's equally responsible. She should have, not Paulina, Jessica. Sorry, y'all. Jessica shouldn't have gone through with the marriage. Like, why would you, what did you think? Oh, once he gets married, he's going to change. That thing was a mess, a hot mess. Anyway, Reza and his mom. Reza, you know, he's writing a book, and mom is not excited about the book because, you know, she doesn't want her business in the book, right? So Reza's mom, she revealed to him that she knew that her husband was cheating, but she stayed, quote unquote, for the kids. Reza said that the mother told him, because Reza's parents went to therapy, and Reza's father was so like bad with his infidelity and his attitude that the therapist asked Reza's mom how could she live with him. But she stayed for the kids. And if you're an OG royal family member, you know how I feel about that. Moving along, Mike. So I like this episode because we finally get back to a little bit of business with Mike, literally. Now, you know, Mike, he owns that apartment building that his parents previously owned. They were renovating, so they passed it on to him. So he's in business with his brothers. He has two brothers. The father is overseeing it. I like Mike's father. I always liked his father. He seems so cool, right? Anyway, like a typical, you know, old school dad. So his dad is with him to see how far Mike has gotten with the project. Now, this is what I have been waiting to see, and it took 9 episodes to see where Mike is with his construction, right? Now, be advised, if you're not aware, if you watched the show from its inception, then you know that Mike's father is an electrical engineer, and he's not afraid to tell his son the truth as it pertains to this project. Because at first, they thought like, okay, Mike, this is a little bit too much for you to take on. His parents had some doubts, and Mike wanted to do this to prove to his parents that he's responsible, right? I remember Reza talked down, laughed at it, but Reza is a very jealous person. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic for another day. So as far as Mike is concerned, he has to prove to his parents and other people that he can do something and you know, follow through with something. His father told him that he was proud of him. So it seems that Mike is doing good, and I was so grateful because I said, oh, because Lord knows Mike's ego can't afford to take another hit if his father was like, oh, you're messing up. So his dad tells him that he's proud of him, and I love that scene because I feel like at this moment Mike needs to hear this from his father. So I love that, you know, everything is coming along. Like I said, he's in it with his brothers. It's property that his parents owned that they were going to sell, but Mike said, no, let me take it over. So they're renovating this apartment building, going to rent it out, high-end type stuff, and, you know, make some profit with his brother, keep it in the family. I'm here for it. And Mike is doing well. So his father approves, so it's all good. Shift gears, Mike and Paulina. So they're out on a date, and Mike is talking about wanting 4 kids and being a full-time dad to Paulina's 2 children from her previous relationship. Mike, I just feel like Mike does not... I don't really think he really wants or needs any children right now. Like, I feel like he wants to be a bachelor and he's not ready to be married. He does not want to admit that. And I feel like he needs to stop living his life based on what people think he should be doing. And this is why his marriage wasn't successful. He should not have married Jessica. It was a disaster. And then you have, quote unquote, a friend like Reza, who, if Mike doesn't even tie his shoes properly, Reza will say, see, you don't tie your shoes. You're irresponsible, Mike. Mike, why are you like this? You see, I'm married. I'm successful. I'm good. Ugh. Paulina is a divorced woman. I don't even know if her divorce is finalized. She has 2 children. And I'm just like, Paulina, ma'am, you might want to let your bed sheets cool down before you go adding a man and mixing to make a microwavable family, especially with Mike. Are you crazy? Her divorce wasn't even finalized at the time that they were taping the show, I don't think. Right? So, damn, let your bed cool down. Let your sheets cool down. You see? So quick to, and you have another man around your kids. Not saying that Mike is a bad person, but you don't know. Girl, again, I don't even think Miss Thing's divorce is final. All right, this video is getting too long. So I'm going to come back for episode 10, but this was episode 9 of Shahs. Let me know what you think. Hopefully you watched it and you're all caught up. I'm getting caught up now. So I know this is extremely, extremely late, but better late than never. So let's keep the conversation going down in the comments, and be sure to click on the next video, which is episode 10. Peace out.